Health inspectors. What are the most vile conditions you've ever seen in a restaurant? I worked as a health inspector in Texas for 8 years, and there are things I saw that still haunt me when I walk into a restaurant. You try to give places the benefit of the doubt, especially the small, family-owned spots trying to make a living. But some places go beyond neglect. They're just vile. The worst day I ever had started with a routine complaint. Foul odor reported at a Chinese buffet off of Frontage Road. The place had been closed for about a week, no visible sign on the door, just shuttered. Complaint came in from someone who lived in the apartment complex behind it. Said the smell was seeping out into the parking lot. I got there around 10 a.m. midsummer, already pushing 95 degrees. I remember because I had to peel my clipboard off the passenger seat. There was no sign of activity at the restaurant, just a dead potted plant out front and a yellowed menu in the window. No lights on inside. I knocked a few times. No answer. When I pushed on the door, it opened. The second I cracked it, the smell hit me. I can't describe it accurately. It was like death, sewage, and old fryer grease had been fermenting together. My eyes watered immediately. I gagged. I've dealt with bad walk-ins before, moldy cheese, raw meat left out, but this was different. This was thick. The power had been shut off. No AC, no refrigeration. I had my flashlight out and started sweeping the dining area, which was mostly intact. Tables dusty, chairs pushed in. But then I got to the buffet line. That's when it turned into a nightmare. They had left all the food out, not just trays, full pans of meat, vegetables, rice, sauces, everything. And it had all been sitting there, unrefrigerated, stewing in its own rot for at least a week. The sneeze guards were coated with flies, thick like a moving layer of black film. The food was bubbling, not from heat, but from the gases forming underneath. Pockets of decomposition swelling up and popping. One of the trays of sweet and sour chicken had burst open and fused into the metal. There were maggots everywhere. I didn't even make it 5 steps into the buffet area before I threw up. I've never had that happen before or since. I radioed it in immediately and flagged it for emergency response. We had to bring in a biohazard team to dispose of the food safely. No one could figure out why the owners just up and left everything like that. No notice, no cleanup, just locked the door and disappeared. That one stuck with me, but it wasn't the only horror show. There was a Mexican place on the east side that had good Yelp reviews, ironically. I went in for a routine inspection and made my way into the back kitchen. Everything looked okay at first, grimy but not catastrophic, until I saw a woman in an apron crouched over a mop sink. She was soaking tripe in it, not just rinsing, soaking it, like hands deep in the mop sink, sloshing the tripe around. The same sink that was used to rinse out mop water, dirty rags, and God knows what else. I stopped everything right there. Told them that all of it had to go in the dumpster immediately, and that I wanted to see that sink bleached and scrubbed before I left. The owner tried to argue, said they always did it that way, said it was clean water. I shut that down fast. That place narrowly avoided a closure, but got slapped with a huge violation. My boss once saw a seafood spot thawing raw shrimp in a mop sink too. Same kind of setup, but this one had the actual mop still draped over the faucet, while the shrimp were defrosting underneath. I wish I was exaggerating. The mop had grime hanging from it like it was shedding skin. They were planning to serve that shrimp for dinner service. We shut them down on the spot. You learn quickly as a health inspector that the dining room is theater. The real story happens in the back, behind the swinging doors, in the corners of the walk-in, under the prep tables. That's where the truth lives. And sometimes the truth is covered in slime and trying to crawl away. I still eat out, but I sit near the kitchen when I can. And if I see a mop sink near any kind of